Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode 146. My name is Anisha, and I am an aligned life coach. And I basically help women who are feeling stuck to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. And I have been a teacher here for about 3 years now. So, this is a little bit about me. And before we begin the live, I would love to know about you as well. So feel free to drop in a hi and share which part of the world you're joining us from. Hello, Eve. Good morning. Happy to have you here again. I so appreciate you guys spending your precious time with me. It means a lot. And let me share with you what we do here. And until then, in case anyone else wants to drop in a hi, you can do that. Hello, Nakesha. Nakesha says, Grand Rising, Anisha, and everyone. Grand Rising, and welcome back. It has been so lovely having you here in this space, Nakesha. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Eve. Okay, so what do we do here? So we usually start these lives with a meditation, and that meditation is based upon the quote that you see when you open Insight Timer app. So we really, soak in that wisdom and plant those seeds of wisdom into our subconscious mind using a meditation. And once we have, gone through this meditative journey and we feel more centered, more calm, and more aligned, then we move on to the second phase of this life where we, spin the wheel of wisdom. So that wheel contains the name of, over 50 transformational books that I have read in my own journey of healing and personal growth. So, what we do is we spin the wheel and let the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, whatever you call it, choose a book for us to guide us today. And then we play a game where I ask you guys to pick a number. And then, we do a reading based upon the chosen number so that everyone can receive that message that we most need to hear right now in our life. So, this is what we do here in this space. Good afternoon, Karen, and welcome back. Happy to have you here again. I love seeing so many of you coming back. It makes me so happy that you guys are getting some value or you just like spending time here. So, yeah, I'm so happy to have you back. Okay, so now that I have shared a little bit about what we do here, I would love to ask you that are you guys ready for the first part of this live, which is going to be a meditation? So, are you settled in a quiet space or wherever you would like to meditate? And if you are, type ready in the comments. And until then, I will also type a comment in case anyone new joins us during the meditation so they know what is going on here. Okay. So, are you guys ready for a meditation? You can type ready or press the hearts to let me know that, yeah, we can begin with the first part. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So Nakasha is ready. Eve is ready as well. Beautiful. Okay. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to lie down or sit upright, whatever kind of support your body needs today. As you begin to settle in this posture, notice your eyelids getting heavy and heavy. Feel them getting heavier and heavier until they close all the way down. Your eyes are comfortably resting in the sockets. So move your attention away from the eyes and rest your awareness on your breath. Noticing the air flowing in and out. Noticing how does it feels like to be breathing right now. With each exhale, notice your body sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Allow the support beneath you to hold the weight of your body. With each breath, noticing your mind settling more and more into a peaceful state. Today, we are going to meditate and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Aristotle. The quote is: "The energy of the mind is the essence of life." The energy of the mind is the essence of the life. Aristotle reminds us that the quality of our inner world shapes the quality of our outer life. Our thoughts, attention, and energy are not passive, they actively create how we feel, act, and move through the world. When the mind is calm, intentional, and steady, life feels lighter and more meaningful. But when the mind is scattered, stressed, or overwhelmed, then life feels heavy. So today's meditation is for anyone who wants to start feeling calmer, clearer, and more in control of their inner world. So allow your body to relax, to sink deeper and deeper into a restful state. Every muscle of your body is relaxed from head to toe. Each cell feels completely at ease. And as you start to sink deeper and deeper into the states of your consciousness to reach your subconscious mind, allow yourself to let go of all the outside noises and focus solely on my voice. In a moment from now, I am going to repeat certain affirmations. I will repeat each affirmation 3 times. For the first 2 times, simply listen and let those words sink in. And on the third time, you are invited to repeat that affirmation after me, either out loud or silently in your mind. So let's begin. Your inner world deserves care. Your inner world deserves care. Now repeat after me. My inner world deserves care. You focus on what uplifts you. You intentionally focus on what uplifts you. I intentionally focus on what uplifts me. You welcome clarity into your mind. You welcome clarity into your mind. I welcome clarity into my mind. Your inner state feels light and open. Your inner state feels light and open. My inner state feels light and open. Your mind supports your well being. Your mind supports your well being. My mind supports my well being. You choose thoughts that nourish you. You choose thoughts that nourish you. I choose thoughts that nourish me. You allow your mind to soften and settle. You allow your mind to soften and settle. I allow my mind to soften and settle. Your energy feels steady and strong. Your energy feels steady and strong. My energy feels steady and strong. Your awareness brings you back to peace. Your awareness brings you back to peace. My awareness brings me back to peace. You return to balance with ease. You return to balance with ease. I return to balance with ease. I feel supported from within. I feel supported from within. I feel supported from within. You guide your mind with love. You guide your mind with love. I guide my mind with love. My mind brings more ease into my life. Your mind brings more ease into your life. My mind brings more ease into my life. You welcome only peaceful thoughts today. You welcome only peaceful thoughts today. I welcome peaceful thoughts today. You did great. And now that you have planted these seeds of wisdom into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, know that each time you repeat these affirmations, these seeds will continue to grow more and more with each repetition ult- until they ultimately bear fruits into your life. But for now, allow yourself to come back by returning into your body. Begin to slightly wake up your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers, bringing small movement into your body by allowing your body to move in whatever direction it wants to be moved. Allow yourself to take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And at your own pace, allow your eyes to gently open. Become aware of your surroundings by gently moving your neck and your eyes. No need to rush. Let them settle wherever they naturally goes. Welcome back. If you guys feel called to share your experience in the comments, you are welcome to do that. And in case you don't feel like typing yet, then that's perfectly fine. Thank you for all the lovely hearts. And I see that some new people have joined us. So, a warm welcome to you all in this space. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me here. And in case you guys missed the meditation that we just did on today's Insight Timer quote, then I will share towards the end of this live where you can find the meditation. And soon we will move on to doing some intuitive readings for all of us. Okay, so let's read some comments that just dropped in a while ago. Okay, so Eve's dog also joined us, and I hope that Sue's had a great time, or he or she felt more relaxed. It's so lovely when, our pets also join us and we both can relax in the same space. And Eve says, so grateful for this live. Thank you, Anisha. I am so happy to read that and to know that something from this meditation really touched you, Eve. So thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, so now it's time for some fun and some wisdom at the same time. So, for that, let me show you guys the wheel of wisdom. So, Okay, so my lovely ones, this is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel that you just saw, contains the name of 50 plus books that I have read in the past 10 years or so in my own journey of healing and personal growth. And now we are going to ask the universe, God, divine source, spirit, angels, ancestors, higher self, whatever you call it, whatever you believe in, to guide us to choose a book for us from this wheel. And in order to receive the right book, I would like to invite you all to take a second and either ask yourself that what do I need guidance on today? Or if nothing specific is going on in your life, then simply ask the universe or God or whatever you believe in that what do I need to receive today? What wisdom wants to come through that is going to be for my highest good? So, either way, drop this question either inside of you or to something larger than you. And once you have either thought of something specific or you have set this intention and are open to receive some guidance, let me know in the comments by typing ready or by pressing the heart so that we can begin and we can spin the wheel and choose a book for us today. Okay, Nicole is ready. Wonderful. And we have few hearts. Okay, so I'm assuming like some of you have thought of something. So thank you for letting me know, guys. And now let's spin. So hold whatever it is, either the answer that came up for you or simply the question in your awareness as we spin the wheel. The book that came for all of us here is Wishes Fulfilled by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Wishes Fulfilled by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So let's see, let's open the book and see what wishes are ours, of ours, wants to be fulfilled. Okay, Karen says she loves that book. I am glad that, that the timing matched and you were here to, receive a reminder from this book again. Okay, so give me a second to choose some numbers and then we will play a game together. Okay, so my lovely people, now the instructions for this game is in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, take your time and see which number is coming up for you. Share that number in the comments. I will go through all your numbers and then pick a number that I am feeling intuitively called to. So, in this way, we will tap into this collective wisdom to receive the message that is for the highest good of us all. So, the numbers between which I would like you guys to choose are 21 to 86. Here you go. Thank you, Athena, for choosing a number. Thank you, Nicole. Anyone else who would like to choose a number? Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Karen. There is like a pattern here. The last numbers of, the last digit of your numbers, the two consecutive numbers are matching, at least for me on my screen. Okay, anyone else before I choose a number amongst these four? Thank you, Nakesha. Okay, Natalie and Nakesha are pretty close as well. Okay, so let's see now. Which number is coming up for me? Okay, so the number that I am feeling most called to is 47, and the number has been chosen by Natalie for all of us. Thank you, Natalie. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page 47. So, the heading for this is expanding your inner presence. And the author says, it is impossible for me to overstate the significance of using these two words, which are I am. They have transformative energy to guide and direct the highest power in the universe, revealing you as a God realized being. So, okay, give me a second. Yeah, so Neville spoke that by creating an ideal in your mind, you can identify yourself with it until you become one and the same with the ideal, thereby transforming yourself into it. Basically, fake it till you make it. So instead of repeating the old patterns or the limiting beliefs, try repeating the more healthier ones, even if it doesn't feel fully true to you, or even if every single part of you do not accept it. The author is saying that, repeat it until you become that, repeat that identity specifically, because the author is talking about the I am statements. So, um, so it matters not how long you have been stuck in a pattern that's kept you from fulfilling your highest ideal of yourself. By shifting so that you restate who you are in your imagination and choosing to live from this perspective, you will you will, as Neville suggested, achieve that transformation. This is true whether you have been a drug addict, a chronic stutterer, enmeshed in poverty, ridden, riddled with illness, chronically lazy, unlucky in love, intellectually inferior, or whatever you have wished you weren't. Apply the teachings first in your mind and then with action that matches your inner I am. So, again, this is not a passive process. So, you cannot just, just repeat it in your mind and keep doing the same things that the older version of you is doing. You need to make tiny changes. Again, you do not need to shift your identity and, change everything and act. and sorry. Yeah. And, so you do not need to make a major change, but by making a change in your mind, the way you speak to yourself, the way you speak about yourself, and then, starting to make little shifts in your actions in your daily life, acting in alignment with the person that you want to become, not all the time, not every single day, not consistently. Consistently meaning like, not repeating that or being able to do that every single day, no matter what is happening in your life. Because expect that some days you're not going to follow that. It is a natural part of being human. But aim for, doing it for more days than, more days of the week compared to repeating your old patterns and make tiny shifts, not bigger ones, because your mind would reject you because they would clash with your old identity, but tiny shifts that are in alignment with who you want to become and continue to feed it with your thoughts around that identity and with your actions, strengthen it, strengthen this new identity that you are embodying within yourself. So, um, let me see if there's something. Yeah. So the author says you might be thinking that this is all self delusion, and just saying I am doesn't make it so. It's probably natural to feel skeptical if you believe that what your senses tell you is your only reality. So, to add to this, the thing is that whatever you already think about yourself is also probably not the objective ultimate truth. And as the author says, that we believe that what we perceive is the ultimate reality, is the truth. But the thing is that our senses and our mind is very limited. So just like we cannot see all the colors that are here in this world, we just see a spectrum of it. We are not, you know, we don't have the ability to see every single hue and um every single hue of a color or shade of a color that other animals are able to see, right? So there is a deficit in our seeing. Similarly, in with our hearing, we can only hear up to certain hertz, I think between 20 to 2000 or 20,000 something. Yeah, but we have this limited, capacity of our senses. And similarly, there is this limited capacity in our mind that it only takes in certain information based on a lot of different things, based on our past experiences, our mental models, our limiting beliefs. And hence, whatever we conclude is usually likely to be aligned with what we already believed. And there's something known as confirmation bias, that is, we only seek that information that is already confirming that is confirming our already existing beliefs. So, so the thing is that nothing is true in general, and it reminds me of another quote that whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, either way you are right. So, even if it is delusional, even if it is not the truth for you right now, but it depends on you that which truth do you want to feed and believe and cultivate and manifest in your life, and choose that one and feed that one with your thoughts, with your action, with your words, and then it would eventually become your reality. That transformation will occur, that identity change would occur, but it would take time or it may not. you know, let just life decide the timing of it all. Let the universe or God or whatever you believe in decide the timing of it all, and trust that it is coming to you, that it's already happening. The shift is already happening. So yeah, that is what came up for me from this paragraph. Let me know, Natalie, if it resonated with you at all. And if it resonated with anyone else, feel free to share, your story or whatever you want to share in the comments. Everything is welcome. And and in case, you are new here and you don't know about um a resource that I have regarding this, regarding identifying your limiting beliefs, the ones that are stopping you, then I would, I have put up a card here that would allow you to save the course to help you identify all the beliefs and all the inner dialogue that is, holding you back, that is causing this resistance because of which you are not able to move towards your goals, towards your dream, towards your desired outcome. So if you are unaware of them, because they are usually hidden away in our subconscious mind, so this will help you become aware of them and eventually let them go if they are not serving you. And if you need help in terms of turning your negative beliefs or your thoughts into a more healthier version, then I have one more resource and then I will, read the comment that just came up. And that resource is this course, which is Transform Your Negative Thoughts and Master Healthy Thinking. So it uses a therapeutic approach known as cognitive behavioral therapy, and it will help you identify when those negative thoughts and beliefs try to hook you in into that mind story, into that truth that you think as to be true, and then challenge them and then replace them with a more healthier version, not necessarily positive, but a more functional version. Okay, so let me go through the comments that just popped up. Hmm. Natalie says, yes, thank you. Oh, I am so happy that that resonated with you, Natalie. And she says, this reminds me of the tale about what wolf I choose to feed. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so that can be a reminder for you, Natalie, as well as for other people as well, that as you go about your day to day, because that is how this wisdom, this knowledge will turn into wisdom when you combine this with action, with, when you apply this into your life. And one way to apply this is to, either create an affirmation or to remind yourself of the story of which wolf, or ask yourself now and then throughout the day, which wolf am I feeding right now? So pause and ask yourself, which wolf am I feeding right now? And if you are feeding the wrong one, then stop that and shift. You know, it is in your hands to shift, it is in your hands to choose. So, yeah, so that is something that came up. And maybe you want to apply it or maybe not. It's up to you. But yeah, it's just a suggestion. Nakisha says that resonated with me greatly. I have seen a huge shift in my surroundings and internal thoughts and feelings as I worked on changing the way I see and think about things. Exactly, because, our world is here, not here. Because everything that is happening in our outside world, we are making sense of it here, based on all the ways, all the programming that we have inside here. So, and it perfectly blends with the meditation for today that we did, that how the way we think actually influences the way we feel, the way we act, and the results that we get in our life. And hence, once you change one thing, you will start to see a shift happening in some other thing, because everything is linked, and you are the one who decides your reality. So thank you, Nakesha, for sharing your experience with it, that, that how it had, that how it was helpful for you in the past in your life. And if if anyone was doubtful or skeptical, then it might help them to, trust it and give it a try. Do not believe it, just give it a try. That is all, I guess, I'm asking you to do. Misha says, whether you believe you can or you can't, you are right. That's powerful. I'm glad that you resonated with that, Misha. And yeah, it is, it gives me a reality check every time. And and also a hope that I can change, my reality, my results, whatever it is, based on what I choose to believe. So yeah, thank you for sharing what resonated, Misha. Karen says definitely resonates. It all starts in the mind. Exactly. And it all kind of, yeah, this is the epicenter of our life. So yeah, Misha says it resonates, but overcoming limiting beliefs is hard, especially when you are your own worst critic. Self-compassion is much needed. Yeah, well said. That self-compassion is much needed, When we are doing any kind of inner work, it can become frustrating, you know, that I keep on doing the same things, I keep on believing the same things. And it might feel like I'm just going in spiral, I'm just going in the circle again and again and again and doing the same mistakes, getting entangled in the same patterns. But you don't realize that every time you become aware of them, and every time, even once out of like 10 times, you do something differently, you are moving slightly up, and the tangent is going up, and then you're moving up the spiral. And you will, this transformation is going to be, I guess, everything you dreamed of and even more. And maybe, um yeah, sometimes dealing with limiting beliefs feel harder because there is a lot more evidence beneath it, right? There is a lot more foundation beneath it. But sometimes I have seen like these beliefs also shifting in an instant the moment the person realizes that it is no more serving me. And the thing is that we do not need to get rid of the limiting beliefs. So maybe part of the reason why it feels hard is because firstly that can be a belief in itself, that doing the inner work or overcoming my limiting beliefs is hard. It can be, a limiting belief in itself. And I know it because I have also repeated that sometimes. So yeah, as you said that, I'm also reflecting that maybe that is a belief in itself, that overcoming your limiting beliefs is hard. And I was saying something, I interrupted myself. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, so I was saying maybe part of the reason why it feels hard is because we are trying to get rid of them and never have that limiting belief ever again, never have that same critical thought ever again. But our purpose is not that. Our purpose is to find freedom, not in terms of getting rid of it, but freedom to choose when that voice comes up again for to us, when that inner critic says the same thing again that used to break us before. Now it doesn't break us, it makes us, doubtful that whether it is true, or it makes us like, um, I'm just taking a moment to choose my words wisely. Yeah, so now, like for example, now we are more doubtful that maybe this is just a voice and it is not the truth. Or maybe we are just choosing differently, that I hear you, I hear that voice, but I'm not going to believe it. And because I know that is not going to serve me, no matter whether it is true or not, that doesn't matter. What matters is that it is not going to serve me. And this is why I'm going to choose differently. And in that choice, you're going to have that freedom. So instead of aiming to get never have that thought again, never have that limiting belief again, aim to, to be aware of whenever that occurs, I will choose differently. And over time, the thing with your brain is that it's like so every time you do certain things, there is a sequence of nerves that gets activated, sequence of neurons that gets activated. The more you use them, the stronger they become, the easily accessible they become. Okay. But the less you use them, which you would do eventually with time, you would not believe that and you would not get enrolled or sucked into that story, then that critical voice, that limiting belief, will get lesser and lesser and lesser. It would become, the frequency would become less and the intensity would become less. And eventually it might fade away, not completely. It would still come up in certain similar situations sometimes. With me also, okay, so to give you my example, with me, the limiting belief that I had, and I have right now as well, but it is less, is that I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough to be more exact. And the thing is that I identified it a few years ago. And I was really frustrated by it that why do I keep on believing this now? That even though I'm now aware that this is my limiting belief, why do I keep on getting believing it, thinking of it as true? And eventually, now when I reflect back, I realize that yeah, it was a mix of a lot of things, frustration and this and that and this. But with time, I realized that every time I didn't, you know, believe that belief when it came up, when it popped up in my head. And right now also it does. The frequency is less and the intensity is less, meaning I'm able to um cut my ties off from it and I choose differently in that moment. So a part of me still says at moments that I'm not capable enough, that, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this or that or this. And it feels scary sometimes as well, sometimes. But now I've developed this ability to see it and to let it go. And there is the freedom, not to fix yourself completely or not to get rid of any thought or emotion, forever, because it is going to come up sometimes. So, so yeah, that is healing. Healing is not to get rid of them forever, completely, because it might not happen and you will keep on waiting that why am I not healing? So, yeah, I hope that sharing this might have, helped you. Misha says, how do you let it go? That's the challenge. So I call it out, I say that, okay, my limiting belief, this limiting belief is acting up. So there are a lot of ways to let it go. Sometimes you see the truth behind it. Sometimes you see that they're not serving you. And then there are different ways to let it go. You can use visualization, you can use the power of your words. There are a lot of different techniques to do that. Um, you can simply, yeah, so there are a lot of techniques are popping up in my head. But, and I did recorded, I guess, 5 meditations regarding that. They are not published yet, but I did it in my live once. So, so you can think of your own creative way. You can like write it down and just, crumble that paper up and throw it out. And, you know, like for one time, and then every time that belief comes up, you say to yourself that I choose not to believe it, or this is not serving you, or this is not serving me, or this is not the truth. So it depends based on your belief. So sometimes it might help to do some general techniques. Sometimes it might help to come up with your own specific statement after doing the work with someone, with a coach or with your therapist. Because sometimes you're not able to see our own patterns and stuff. So we sometimes need other person to help us see that. And it doesn't mean that you are not capable. It just means that we cannot see our own blind spots, right? We cannot see our whole own back. Doesn't mean that there is some difficulty with our vision or our neck, but it's just what it is. There are some blind spots that we cannot see ourselves, and that is why we just need help of some other person. So, yeah. So I hope that that gives you some insight. Okay, Misha says very true. Okay, my dear ones. And Misha, if you haven't already, you might find helpful to take this course that I've put it in the card. It might give you certain techniques to question your beliefs or thoughts. Um, yeah, Nakisha says, if I end up seeing it, if I end up seeing it, I stare at it and say, I disbelieve that. Thank you, Nakisha, for sharing, your strategy. Exactly. There are so many different ways that you can come up with. Be creative, see what works for you. Work with it with a coach, with a therapist, so they can help you, first identify them. That is sometimes the hard part. And then to, cut your ties off from them so that they do not influence you anymore. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm thinking like to share the resources with you or not regarding that step that I mentioned. So, so the one that I have on now, right now, the course that is showing right now is going to help you see the truth behind your beliefs, and it might also help you, cut your ties off from the belief. So there are certain techniques that once you apply, you realize that you find it easier to let go of that belief. Okay, so you can use this course, and for becoming aware of your limiting beliefs, I already shared a course before, but I will share in case anyone new joined. This course will help you identify your limiting beliefs. um, and the third thing that I wanted to share is that the skill that you need to become aware when the belief or thought becomes active, instead of getting sucked into the story that your mind is telling you, is mindfulness, is awareness. Because that is what will make you realize, okay, I'm thinking that again. Okay, I've had this belief again, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed again. So, what is happening inside of me? So, it will help you catch your sneaky mind, to put it simply. So, if you want to develop this skill, then the final and third resource that I have for you is this: how to live more mindfully. It has a lot of techniques to help you become more mindful, like enhance your formal practice as well as in your daily life. So, if you struggle with that, catching yourself in the moment, then you might benefit from this. So I guess that's it for the first reading. We had a lot more discussion around it, and yeah, and I understand, thoughts are and beliefs are pretty difficult for a lot of us, and it was for me as well for a great deal of time. That is why I have like a lot of resources around thoughts. That is why I created them for, I guess, the younger version of me. Okay. So now, my lovely ones, let's do one more reading. Okay. And so for that, I invite, especially anyone who joined us right now, I invite you guys to, ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? And if you do not come up with a specific answer, if nothing specific is going on in your life, simply ask the universe, God, divine, whatever you believe in, that what do I need to receive today? What message do I need to hear today? And hold that question or the answer that came up for you in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay. This is, I guess, one of the first books that I read ever in spirituality, I guess. So, the name of the book is The untethered soul. The untethered soul. I really mess up this word. The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer. So I'm sure a lot of people might have already heard of this book. It is a pretty famous one. And let's see what message wants to come up in our life again. So I'm opening this book and choosing, some numbers so that we can play a game. And until then, if you guys have benefited from this live up until now, you guys got something of value, or you just enjoyed being here and you would like to keep the space alive to keep me going and do more of these lives, then you can support me by making a donation, because every single contribution that you have made in the past has gone into creating more resources and to take out time to do these lives, day after day. So, yeah, your support actually allowed me to do. Uh, I started these lives in January and this is December. So, yeah, to do one whole year of lives. So, yeah, thank you for your support, guys. Okay, so let me choose some numbers. Mhm. Okay, so the instructions for this game is, my lovely ones, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers, and I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, take your time and see which number is coming up for you. Share that in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick a number that my intuition is feeling most called to. Okay? So, in this way, we will get to tap into this collective wisdom of us all and receive that message that all of us here needs to hear. Okay? So, the numbers between which I would like you to choose are 13 to 124. Oh, hi Megan. Welcome back. I am so happy to have you here again. And guys, Megan is another wonderful teacher on Insight Timer. She has a lot of stuff around mindfulness, especially I think for, change makers or, caregivers, I think. Yeah, so you can check her, tracks out. Um, thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Misha, for sharing your numbers. I'm glad, Amelia, that you were able to make it. Okay. You're welcome, Megan. Thank you, Nakisha. You're so welcome, Megan. Okay, so anyone else who would like to share a number before we begin? Okay, then let's go through these numbers and see which one am I feeling most called to. Okay, so the number that I am feeling most called to is 78, and the number has been chosen by Emilia. Thank you, Emilia. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page 78. So, again, something more about our mind. So, the author says, what you will see is that your mind is always telling you that you have to change something outside in order to change your inner problems. But if you are wise, you won't play this game. You realize that the advice your mind is giving you, is psychologically damaged advice. Your mind's thoughts are disturbed by its fears. Of all the advice in the world, you do not want to listen to, you do not want to listen to, it is the advice of a disturbed mind. Your mind actually misleads you. Suppose it tells you, if I could just get that promotion, then I would be fine. I would feel good about myself and I could get my life back together. Have you found that to be true? After you get the promotion, does that end all your insecurities and leave you financially satisfied for the rest of your life? Of course not. All that happens is that the next problem comes to surface. So, once you see this, you realize that the mind has a serious underlying problem. And what it's doing is making up external situations that might make things more comfortable. But the external situations are not the cause of your inner problems. They are merely an attempt to solve the problems. For example, if you feel lonely and insufficiency within your heart, it's not because you haven't found a special relationship. That did not cause the problem. The relationship is your attempt to solve the problem. Again, for example, if you feel lonely and insufficiency within your heart, it's not because you haven't found a special relationship. That did not cause the problem. That relationship is your attempt to solve the problem. All you are doing is trying to see if a relationship will appease your inner disturbance. If it doesn't, you will try something else. The fact is, however, external changes are not going to solve your problem because they don't address the root of your problem. The root problem is that you don't feel whole and complete within yourself. If you don't identify the root properly, you will seek someone or something to cover it up. You will hide behind finances, people, fame, and adoration. If you try to find the perfect person to love and adore you, and you manage to succeed, then you have actually failed. You did not solve your problem. All you did was involve the other person in your problem. That is why people have so much trouble with relationships. You began with a problem inside yourself and you tried to solve it by getting involved with somebody else. That relationship will have problems because your problem are what caused the relationship. It is also easy to see once you step back and dare to look at it honestly. So then now the question that might arise in your mind is that if I did not solve my problems by changing something externally, by um having something or someone, then what do I do? Because I feel this inner sense of insufficiency. I feel this inner sense of worthlessness. I feel this. I believe this about myself. So, again, you can discover the root of your problem. That where did you get that belief, that sense, that feeling from, that might help you distance from it a little bit. And, I already shared a resource regarding that on limiting beliefs, that course, because in that I also help you identify the source of it. And then once you identify it, sometimes it automatically gives you that freedom that this is not my own and I do not have to carry it. The other thing is when you try to fill that void within you with someone or with something, it mostly never works because, as the author says, you make them a part of your problem. So if you are insecure and you got someone that you love, then you are going to be insecure in that relationship and that is going to cause problems again. So the thing is that instead of trying to prove yourself that you're whole, that you're complete, that you're lovable, that you are this or that, by achieving something, doing something, having something, or someone, you know, the thing that I tell my clients is that believe that you are, believe that you are whole, believe that you are lovable. And if you believe that in this moment, what would you do if you believed, that you have everything that you need within you, that you are whole, that you don't need anything else from outside? If you believe that you are that version of you that you want, if you believe that you already have in your life that whatever it is that you desire, then how would you act? And that actually is you becoming that version of you, that actually is you living that life that you want to, in not that kind of a way that you imagine, that manifested, that ultimate manifestation of dream life or your ideal version, but in a small way right now. So you are in alignment with that, you are embodying that, and you're moving from that truth that, yes, I am that. And you are that, you just don't realize it. You have been that part of you feels inaccessible because of the layers of conditioning over you. So, let that light shine in through that conditioning and believe for a moment that I am that and act from it. So, yeah, so that is what came up for me. And if in case, you guys would like more guidance, I gave like I shared a little bit of overview, but if you would like to apply it to your life or if you would like more support from me or guidance from me, then know that that is available. You can work one on one with me. You can, contact me personally and we can sit together and find that belief of yours, work on that, help you find freedom from that, help you act in alignment with your ideal version right now, right here, without waiting for something or someone in future to change that, without waiting to change anything externally. And the way you can do that is um okay, let me share that and then I will go through the comments, the lovely comments that popped in. If you want to, really, really work on this and make a change in your life, because I am, apart from being a mindfulness meditation teacher, I'm also an aligned life coach where I help women who are feeling stuck in their life, in their current life that no longer lights them up to, to uncover what they truly want, to release that inner resistance and to take steps towards a life that is meaningful, that is authentic, that is deeply fulfilling to them. So if you want that, if that is, what you want, or what, or, or whatever we discuss, that is what you're struggling with, then you are welcome to reach out to me. Okay. And the way you can do that is you can go to my profile, you can, on Insight Timer, and you can go to the About section there, scroll down, and you will find something here. you will find a way to work with me and receive that more personalized, support and guidance so that we can, you know, together create a beautiful life for you. And I also have a gift for you that would make it easy for you to access that, what I am offering, and a lot of other special gifts here as well. Okay, so let's see. We have a lot of comments here. So Nakesha says, this confirms the reading I got on Friday about my love life. Okay, I'm glad that it is in alignment that you are getting this message from universe again and again. And it really feels magical and you really feel held and supported when this happens because I have also been getting some kind of messages for me in terms of what I need at this moment of my life. And I got this message again and again for like 2 days, and then I acted on it. I acted on that guidance. And yeah, I feel proud of myself and I feel better. And and yeah, and things change when we take a step towards whatever information that we are getting, whether through me, whether through a book, whether through any sign, whether through an oracle card, whether through whatever, it's just change happens, transformation happens when you take a step, when you act in alignment with that. So Nakasha says, work on self before seeking another. So in some cases it might be true. In other cases, sometimes what happens is there is this other belief that happens that stops us, is that I need to fix myself first before I have a fulfilling loving relationship. And the thing is that the author didn't say the relationship that until you are not fixed, the relationship is the problem. The author said that the relationship, if you use that as a solution to your problems to change your inner state, then that is a problem. So, having another just because you want a partner, just because you want to share your life with someone, just because you want to face the struggles together and, share the joys together is a wonderful thing to do. But if you are seeking another person, or, even in a friend, also, not just a romantic relationship, because you want to fill a void within you, then that is not going to work and it is only going to create more suffering within your relationship, within yourself. So, if you are not completely fixed or healed or whatever word that you use, then still you can be in a relationship, but that relationship is not the solution to your problem. It is just another person who is going through his own stuff or her own stuff, and you are going through and you are just doing it together. And sometimes what happens is, when you are in a secure relationship and your wound or your beliefs are related to unlovability or, more towards like attachment and stuff, then being in a secure relationship actually helps you heal. It makes the healing process sometimes easier or faster because now you get the evidence that you needed. You get the love that you deserved, which you never got in your life in the past relationship, from the past relationships or from your caregivers. Now you get that, and you know, it actually serves as an evidence for your mind, and it makes your nervous system feel safer so that you are in that rest digest and this connected and safe state more often than not. So so yeah so I wanted to point that out, that you do not need to fix yourself or heal yourself completely before you seek out a partner, and it was a very big belief of myself as well, and it took me time to realize that as well, and now I wanted to reiterate it for you, that you do not need to wait for happiness. Okay. I hope that it resonates with you or someone else who needed to hear that. Okay, let me take a sip of water and then I will read the next comment. Okay. Amelia says, indeed, I was so happy for a long time friend who finally got a therapist. After years of complaining about not having a partner and being negative every time about everything, I simply said, I don't know what to say, but I know I have never seen a miserable person and wanted to be around them, but happy, fun people. Yeah, understand that. And it can become like really taxing, when you rely on a friend or a sibling, like a person who is not a mental health professional, who is not into the stuff, you know, to take on this emotional burden. And it can become really taxing if you are already always unburdening and complaining about it. So, and it is like it gives you relief sometimes to do that, the person who's expressing, and it sometimes also gives you perspective because your friend or sibling is going to have an opinion, or cousin or whatever it is going to have an opinion. So sometimes it might help you a little bit, but if you do it over time, it becomes really, taxing for the other person as well. So that is why it is said. And sometimes their advice actually might hurt you compared to, it might come with a good intention, but it might not be the one for you. So that is why it is recommended to go out to a therapist, to go out to a coach, depending on your, situation and issue, and work through it so that you are not moving in circles and complaining and going through that, but actually moving forward from it. Not an instant shift, but yeah, one shift at a time. Um, so yeah, so Amelia says, I find myself wanting to be around them. She said that was what made her seek professional help. Oh, I am so happy that, she is now feeling cared for, guided, supported in the right manner. And now she is, she can be with other people and without taxing anyone else. That is beautiful. I am so happy. Thank you, Amelia, for sharing that. And Amelia says, was it a recent Insight Timer quote about of all the lies I have met, the biggest is my mind? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I also read that. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I really wanted to that quote to occur on one of my, live days. But yeah, your mind is, it is so surprising sometimes that our mind have, said all of these different things and they never happened. And yet every time it says the same things or anything, we just accept it at face value. And that is what we need to learn, to challenge it, to question it rather than just to take it at face value and to accept it and to, act on it. So that is what will, help us choose wisely, think rationally. And yeah, Amelia, thank you for sharing that, quote again here. It is very relevant and a good reminder. Tahania says, good morning, Anisha and everyone. Good morning, Tahania. I'm happy to have you. I know you joined late, but I hope that you're getting something out of this discussion. Nakesha says, yes, I understood all that, but I had been going back and forth on actually actively trying to date. Part of me wanted the connection, but part was like, not, am I really ready to add another person in my intimate circle? Yeah, it can be, a big decision to, to go back into dating, or like to do these, to make these kind of things, to decide what to do, what not to do. And it can be like a lot of confusing and, uh, um, am I ready? Am I this? Your mind might be telling you a lot of different things. And yeah, it is hard. I cannot go into depth in here because it might be general. But if you want to, Nakisha, you're welcome to, um, to contact me and we can, like discuss it together and try to find more clarity towards that if that is something that you want. Okay. Okay, wonderful. So, I guess now it's time to end this live, to wrap up this live. And before I do so, I wanted to mention two things. The first thing is that in case you guys joined late or you missed the live, you can catch this live and all the previous ones as well. And you can do so by going to my profile on Insight Timer. Okay. And when you open my profile, you will see something like this. You can go to the About section here. When you scroll down, you will see something like this. And at the bottom, here you can, find today's live as well as all the previous lives as well. And in case, you're going through something hard, you're going through something difficult, and you would like some guidance, some support, you would like a safe space where you can feel seen and heard and understood and find clarity and confidence and, whatever it is that you're looking for. So if that is something that you need right now, then know that, you can do that, and I'm here for you. I would be so honored to walk with you on your journey, to accompany you even for a little while. So if that is the case with you, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that by again, in the about section at the bottom, you will see this, and here you will find a way to reach out to me, and you will also find some special surprise gifts that I have for you. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's, um those were the two things that I wanted to share. And feel free to check out my profile, if anything resonated, and see I have a lot of resources, a lot of course, a lot of playlist. So you can explore them and see if it has something that you need. Um Nakisha says, much love and blessings, Anisha. Got to head to class. Okay, Nakisha, it was lovely having you as well. Thank you for your blessings and love. And I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead of you. Patrick says, if I may add something, I believe that there are some who need to hear this. You are enough. You are right where you are supposed to be. You are your authentic self, and we all struggle at times. But it's how we transition, even in those struggles. And you and your hearts are in the right place when you are taking care of yourself. This was told to me a while ago. Thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you, Patrick, for, sharing these beautiful words and reminders, and I guess creating a sense of warmth in everyone who listened or read that message. That is so, so beautiful. Karen says, lovely message, Paul. Nice reminder. Yeah, it is. And it is, I guess, the perfect way to end this live. So, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for your loving presence, for all the, wonderful interaction that we had, for all the lovely hearts that flowed in. Thank you. It's a joy to host the space and to be with you guys, to spend time with such lovely souls. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. And I will see you day after tomorrow at the same time. Megan says, thank you, Anisha, for holding space and sharing your comforting wisdom. I am so I'm so honored to hear that from you, Megan. Thank you for, staying till the end. It means a lot. Misha says, thanks, Patrick. Beautiful message. Thanks, Anisha. You're welcome, Misha. Bye, Kathleen. Have a beautiful day. Karen says, thank you, Anisha. You're welcome, Karen. Okay. Bye. See you day after tomorrow.